All right, Bray and Haley, let's see what y'all got going on here for your Boudoir Facebook ads. All right, so you run this on IG only. All right, so yeah, this is the ad we'll be looking at. Basically seeing what could be causing you not to get as many bookings as you wanted or expected, as many qualified conversations, sales, shoots, all that stuff. And we're gonna go over like the top 10 most common mistakes that I see boudoir photographers making in their meta ads. And um, this is a list of some boudoir ads like I've seen and I've copied and I've just tested them, kind of like that other boudoir photographers are running, and categorized their mistakes. And then I put my fixes in, and we can see on average I get like 2 to 4x more women for the same ad spend actually engaging reading my ad versus what boudoir photographers are normally doing. And the women that were actually coming through mine were actually more specific. So normally it's a higher probability of converting as well because they're a higher quality prospect. So we're getting 2 to 4x more, you know, higher specificity of women that we're calling in. So that's kind of background that we'll be going over this. So, all right, so you throw everything on the photo. All right, so the first out of 10 mistakes I look at is, does it look like an ad? So someone scrolling, does it look like an ad? Yes, yours looks like an ad just because all the text on the photo. And when it's an ad, it's just lower probability people engage with it and actually read what we got to say and actually read and ingest our offer because people don't like to be sold to. So that's mistake number one. And then this is IG only. Um, probably just running stories placements or something with this one. But all right, next thing we'll look at the text you got here, and normally the text is like up here, kind of above the photo for all the feed options, but you have no text, so I guess we'll look at your text on here. So we want to have a who. Who are we talking to? Solo boudoir and couples, Seattle. I got half a who. They're kind of broken up. So we're not solo boudoir or couple, so we're not even talking to a specific person. Yeah, so we're missing a who. This ad's kind of just like um, we have offer. Do you want offer? But not really speaking to people like a self-label that people would have, or they would, you know, self-label themselves and then catch their attention to actually keep reading through this. Um, and like the biggest new marketing mistake is kind of just saying, want solution? Here is solution. Want to buy solution? Here is solution. Um, but that's fine to try to realize, we don't really get good results from it. People actually have to be told our solution is for them, what they're going through, their specific situation. So we're missing a who on this ad. Next thing that could be a mistake is we don't have a negative that women are moving away from that our boudoir minis in Seattle would solve. And we always want to lead with a negative experience because humans move away from negative, or take action to move away from negatives or pain. I literally like 100x the rate of taking action to get a positive or a gain. Think of the dentist. So we go to the dentist, do our 6 month checkup, pay, and then the front desk ladies are like, they're basically like, oh, do you, are you free, whatever, 6 months from now on Tuesday, 7:15 a.m. I'm like, dude, I got no idea, no clue. But text me more close to that when I know my schedule. So then text us closer to that 6 month deadline. Text that month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6. But we're ignoring them. We're busy. We're not able. Yeah. or not willing actually to set up our next 6 month checkup, not even at month 8 or month 9 or month 10, because I guess the small gain of getting slightly cleaner teeth is not enough gain for us to like actually hop out, take action, and put the appointment on the calendar. But soon at like month 14, month 15, we're eating food. We got tooth pain at every bite, and then we can't even sleep that night. So the next day we call up the dentist, and we're trying to get an appointment for the next day, and being like, "Man, my tooth's killing me. I gotta get in tomorrow. I gotta get this solved." And they're like, "Well, we don't have any openings for 3 weeks. We're fully booked out." And then we're responding to them like, "Man, I gotta get in. This thing's killing me." But they don't have any slots, so we gotta find another dentist, link up with them, go with them, and okay, we got it fixed. Tooth fixed, back to baseline, back to normal. But what was that? That was enough pain, enough, basically like negative experience to get us to take action to finally set up the dentist appointment. So humans move away from pain, away from a negative experience at 100x the rate of moving towards like pleasure or something positive. So that's why we always want to lead with the negative. So yeah, we're on potential mistake 3 here. Do we have a negative that women are moving away from? No. So women are scrolling by. We're not catching their attention. Even if boudoir could be right for them, because we're not meeting them in their brain with kind of their self-label, or a negative kind of what they want to move away from, and where our boudoir mini session would be the solution to help them move away from that negative. The next thing I look at is a positive. So is there something they would get that they're saying in their brain that they want, that our boudoir mini sessions or boudoir minis are the solution for, or kind of bridge to help them get that positive or that pleasure? And no, we don't have a positive here. So again, more women scrolling by, less qualified kind of conversions. Ads don't really know who to go to, because it seems like tons of people are scrolling by, not really engaging, and our ads will burn out pretty fast. It's from October 17th, October 13th, so we'll see how long. So you got to kind of refresh with a new idea. And then the fourth and final option I look for, kind of the text at the top, is a hesitation or a roadblock, which is stopping women from, setting up, or, getting getting away from the negative and getting the positive from some other solution that's not a boudoir shoot. So maybe it's therapy or retail therapy, something like that. Or the other option for a hesitation or roadblock is a reason why um, women are not going with other boudoir photographers, that they're saying in their brain that they don't want to do X or Y or Z. These other boudoir photographers make them do this, but they don't want to do that, or something like that. So we're basically missing the who, the negative, the positive, and the roadblock. The hesitation slash roadblock. And the most important part of that is the negative, the positive, and the hesitation slash roadblock, because that's the real, that's the triangle of tension. That's like the real differentiator that can differentiate you from other boudoir photographers in your market when we're talking to that specific person. But that specific negative they want to move away from, that specific positive they want, and we do not have them do that specific hesitation slash roadblock they have with other boudoir photographers. And then we're seeing as kind of their only option, because nobody else is speaking to exactly what they're saying in their brain that they want. All right, so that is the first 5 potential mistakes. Then we got the next 5, which would only be in the body copy, which would be here in like the middle of the page, but you don't have any body copy, so you're missing all of these. So that'd be, let's say we're looking at the middle of the photo with the text. That'd be kind of a second hook, where the first headline with the who, the negative, the positive, and the hesitation slash roadblock is headline 1. We get them to read the rest of the ad copy. Then we need hook 2, once they start reading the rest of the ad copy, to give them a reason to keep reading. And this would be an authority hook 2. Basically, why should I listen to you, hook 2. Which is, I did a visual one at the beginning of this video, showing my results, me 2 to 4x and other ads, the women consuming the ad copy, getting exposed to the offer, which, all things being equal, should lead to more sales. And yeah, so we're missing authority. Again, this is just, do you want solution? Here's solution. So we're missing authority to get them to read the next part of our ad copy, which would be a story or narrative, which is basically like if we were putting a video recorder, third-person video camera on, recording them during their day, going like talking about what they're going through, and we're describing that, writing it down in words, and we're enabling us to empathize with them. And as part of the 1-2 punch, the first sentence, the headline with those 4 specific attributes, the who, the negative, the positive, and the hesitation / roadblock. That's like punch 1, which is basically saying the same conversation that's happening in their own brain. And then punch 2 and the body copy, story / narrative, is describing like their actual current life. And then, man, then they're really feeling like we're the only option for them because nobody else is speaking to them this way. So we're missing that. And then the third thing in the body copy, and we don't have any body copy here, but the third thing would, actually, you do got it here. The third thing is always the full offer, because the purpose, our mission for ads is to expose as many people to our offer as possible. So you do got it right there at the bottom. December 6th, 2025, Seattle 11 to 4, 30 minutes, 20 digital images, $375. All right, so you got the full offer here. That's good. So this enables the ad algorithm. Part of the intake for the meta ad algorithm is who is clicking the link on the ad to go take the next action. And that decides like who kind of the next cluster of women the ad goes to based on the data points similar between the profiles of kind of cluster 1 and cluster 2. And so good, you got that there. So women are becoming pre-qualified a little bit more by having this offer right front and center. They know what it is. Could be some more details about, is hair and makeup included? One studio set, multiple studio sets, definitely some more details, but yeah, you get a full offer here, so that's good. Then basically the final 2 mistakes can happen. Then we go below your image, below creative headline and the button. Always a mistake to have those. Actually, you don't have a lot of people like to use the message DM me on Instagram, but yours says book now. I wonder if it's a DM objective. I don't know. I didn't click on Instagram. Could be just a visit profile ad, actually. Yeah, so below the image, we never want to have any below creative headline or description on the bottom left, nor the button, because then there's 3 reasons for it. The first one, 5%, ties in with mistake 1, makes it look more like an ad. There's no organic post that got stuff below the image. Someone's posting a picture of their pet or something. Reason number 2 is when we have text above the image, which is the default for the ads, they kind of scroll past and they get to the bottom, and that's when their brain actually registers the first few lines of text in their subconscious. But if it's incongruent with what's written here, it's going to trigger the error detection network in their subconscious, just in their brain automatically. Their brain tells them error, kind of confusion, incongruent, and they just keep scrolling. But we actually want them to come back up and like read what we got written. And so that's kind of reason number 2 why that's a mistake to have stuff down here. Is just way higher chance of it blowing up blowing up badly instead of giving us a positive. And the third reason, 80% of the reason this stuff below here is a mistake. Below the creative is a mistake. For mistake number 9 is it gives women something to click before they read through our full, see more headline of the ad, to click the see more and to read our full body copy. So people are coming over pre-qualifying, then, unqualified without reading all the stuff. And then, basically wasting those clicks. All right, but our ads are trying to go to the people that are clicking, but they're not converting because they ghost, not having good conversations, low amount of conversations. They're really unqualified. They don't um, feel that our solution is specifically for them and specifically for their situation. So it's miraculous to get in, the book, but then most of them are flaking and ghosting us after booking, and it's just kind of a whole mess, just from all these mistakes. Then the final mistake is, I don't know what objective you're using. Probably, I'm guessing you're using visit profile, honestly. Either using visit profile, traffic objective, or DM engagement objective. Both those are incorrect because those are sending your ads to the 6% slice of your market that are the highest probability to A, either just click on buttons and not do anything once they get there, or B, send a DM, but nothing about actually continuing the conversation once they get there. And so that's just looking kind of at the data point profiles on each meta profile to decide who to send the ad to. And yeah, nothing about having any buyer data points on those profiles. So we're basically going to the wrong cluster of profiles. We want to go to the buyers. People have buying data on their profiles. All right, so again, that's going to result in less qualified people, less sales, more wasted time, more wasted effort, kind of more stress. And again, Facebook ads don't work for me. Everyone's broke on Facebook, but it's actually a result of all these mistakes. And then early um, early ad failures result in Meta shifting our ads to go more towards lower quality prospects, which accelerates our ads demise over time. So the ad's always accelerating positively or negatively at all times. Um, and once we start off with bad results, bad data, it's basically all downhill from there. All right, so let's do your final score, compare it to what I'm seeing all throughout the boudoir industry. So does it look like an ad? Yeah, looks like an ad. We got half of the who there. We got Seattle. We got couples. All right, I'll give you half of that. Then we got missing the negative, missing the positive, missing the hesitation slash roadblock. So it says 4.5 already, and then missing the authority, missing the narrative. So that's 6.5. Got your full offer. That's good. Below creative headline and button, 7.5. Then you may be using the incorrect objective. If you want sales and stuff, if you want buyers, that puts us at, so half a mistake there. It puts us at 8 out of 10 of the top 10 most common mistakes. And the average for the boudoir industry across the whole industry right now is 8 out of 10. So actually, you're right on the average with everyone else. But if you want to outcompete your competitors, better ads, there's definitely some fixes that need to be made. And I classify any boudoir ad, boudoir meta ad, boudoir Facebook ad, boudoir Instagram ad that has more than 2 out of 10 mistakes as a broken down boudoir ad. aka it's not working correctly. Same as if we had a broken down car. That means the car is not working correctly. And where do we bring a broken down car? To a car mechanic so I can fix it up, make it run better. And for this ad, I do have a boudoir ad mechanic offer to solve, these mistakes I talked about. But I squeeze them down and kind of classify them better as 5 root cause problems that I can solve. So first one would be, does it look like an ad? Yes, all right, I can solve that, make it look less like an ad. Um, Number two, root cause problem. Yeah, we need to see more headline, kind of hook one. Need the who, basically the self-label, and the negative and the positive, and the hesitation slash roadblock. So that's root cause problem two. Then moving on to the body copy. You only got one out of three sections. You got the full offer, but you're missing the authority. Why should I listen to you? And then the story slash narrative. So that is root cause problem three. We gotta get the bottom of the ad taken care of. Hide that, not have that stuff showing, because that definitely really hurts click-through rates because people don't like to be sold through. So people are just going fast, not even really even being able to see our offer that we got for them. And then your objective, that's only like half a root cause problem. I don't know which one you're actually using. You could be using the correct one. But all right, so total that's 4.5 root cause problems. Get your ad working better. And I got kind of like two options to take this from a broken down boudoir to a running a much better boudoir ad, um, and much better sustaining boudoir ad. So the options are, option one is basically $50 per root cause problem I just listed off. You can choose, one to as many as you want. So kind of the max would be 4.5 root cause problems times $50, $225. Or option two is just probably way better value, just $100 per month flat fee, and I'll work on as many ads, as you want. Fixing as many ads, creating as many ads as you want to pay ad spend for, which, testing is needed to figure out which of those four specific attributes, kind of the who, the negative, the positive, and the hesitation slash roadblock are most present in the mind of your market. So it's kind of like giving us the answers as we go through testing the ads, and they could also give us sales as well, just in the first testing phases. So yeah, those are the two options, and yeah, you got my phone number, you got my you got my email, and you got my handle here, whatever social platform you're watching this on. So yeah, if you're interested in basically getting more high-paying boudoir clients, have a more full calendar, less pricing, objections, less wasting time with flaking clients, and actually want to get better results, more clients, more butts in the seat, more money, more revenue, then yeah, hit me up, and yeah, I'll ask you what you got for me. And yeah, that's everything for now. Adios.